G'day Cephalon Collective and welcome back to the Week in Warframe news for the week ending 17th of November 2019. I'm Cephalon Greg. Well, it was another quietish week on the DE front, with the dev team working their little butts off to get Update 26 off to cert for the console platforms, but still, there was plenty of news to cover, so let's check it out. First up, the Prime Vault will be changing up this week, with Saren and Valkyr Primes heading on back into the Vault for a well-deserved rest. To replace them, however, players can look forward to Ash and Vauban Prime, both of which have been vaulted for some time, so it's good to welcome them back into circulation, if only for a while. Also to be farmed via relics during this time will be Fragor, Vectus and Axtiletto Primes, as well as the Carrier Prime Sentinel. I'd pretty much recommend hunting all of these down. While none of them are really meta beyond Carrier Prime, they're all quite fun to use. In addition though, but only available via the unvaulting bundles, there will also be some Prime Syandanas and Sugatras as part of the unvaulting as well. So there's lots of good stuff to keep your eyes out for. Next, and most importantly for our Xbox, PlayStation and Switch friends out there, Update 26 The Old Blood has finally been submitted to certification for all 3 console platforms, so expect to be lich hunting sometime this week. There really is a lot to look forward to here, from the liches themselves, to the weapons they're holding, to arbitration updates, the Melee Phase 2 update, and of course, Grendel himself. It's a big one, so get excited. And lastly, and actually a bit of a continuation of the last note, this week's Remote Observer had some additional details about the upcoming updates. If you aren't sure what the Remote Observer is, it's basically a weekly newsletter that DE publishes to their blog on the official Warframe website, outlining the major details for the week. For example, the console certs will also include a bunch of Tenogen. Yay! But the biggest notes from this week were that the Switch will get some additional notes in their update, namely around performance patches and fixes, but also the addition of USB chat, which may appeal to some Switch players. In addition, the Remote Observer also outlined a recent PC hotfix. While these details were not patched in time to be added to the console cert, they're still worthy of note. Namely, the ability to trade liches via a new room in the dojo called the Crimson Branch. Also, what was originally a bug in that ephemera were able to be also applied to pets and sentinels has now been made a feature. Yay! Plus, there were also some buffs to leveling appearances and a major buff to the True Steel and Sacrificial Steel melee mods as a result of the melee rework. Melee is about to get critical. But before we close out for another week, I'd like to say a big thank you to our patrons who help us pay the bills around Cephalon Squared HQ. Thank you, honestly. If you like what we do and would be interested to support, head on over to cephalonsquared.com/support to see what options there are. Of course, simply clicking like and subscribe and sharing our content is help enough. That brings us up to date for this week's news. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week for another Week in Warframe.